Dear student, previously I have taken what is autocorrelation, when it arises, and causes of autocorrelation and its effect of autocorrelation. After that, today I am going to take how you check or test autocorrelation is present in variables or not in the error term. For that, Darwin and Watson given a test called Darwin-Watson test in 1951. You see the how you check we check the autocorrelation for these statistics. Okay. Dear student, autocorrelation is running in my class. In previous class, I have given you the when autocorrelation arises. After that, I have given you causes of autocorrelation and effect of autocorrelation. After that, we are going to take how you test the autocorrelation. How we test the autocorrelation. Calculation of autocorrelation test. After calculation of autocorrelation test, we derive a test which given for testing autocorrelation is present or not. The Darwin-Watson test, called the Darwin-Watson test. The test of general kind concerning autocorrelation was developed by J. Darwin and G. Watson in 1951. The test uses what is usually referred to as a Darwin-Watson D statistics and is based on the sum of square differences successive values of the estimated disturbance terms. Formula D statistics is equal to sigma started from I equal to 2n in bracket estimated ui minus estimated ui minus 1 previous one whole square divided by sigma and sigma I start is equal to 1 up to n estimated ui whole square. If we have positive autocorrelation, the differences of disturbance term in the numerator will be relatively small. Hence, for a small value of d, we can accept the positive autocorrelation between the disturbance term. Second, if the difference in the numeric are large, the value of d is large, we can accept minus autocorrelation because it is divided by large value. Steps for checking steps. The test can be explained in two steps follows. That is, latest test will be hypothesis, null hypothesis rho is equal to 0 means no autocorrelation. Again the alternative hypothesis, hypothesis 1 is equal to rho not equal to 0. In order to estimate the value of disturbance term, we make the use of the residual, where residual are the differences between the observed and accepted values of y. E residual is equal to observed value of y minus accepted value or estimated value of y. Residual E is equal to y minus y estimated. For ith observation, EI is equal to yi minus estimated yi. The model is yi is equal to alpha plus beta xi plus ui, which is observed value y estimated I is equal to estimated alpha plus estimated beta xi accepted value. ei, yi estimated will give the estimates of ui. Hence, d statistics can be written as d sigma I started from 2 n in bracket ui estimated minus ui minus 1 whole square divided by sigma I started from 1 up to n sigma in estimated ui whole square. In form of disturbance term, in form of residual, we can write sigma I is equal to 2 up to n in bracket ei minus 1 whole square divided by sigma I for, to n up to n ei whole square. The above value of d is based on the n minus k degrees of freedom, where k is the number of independent or experimental variable. In two variable linear model, the value of k is equal to 1 because it is n minus k, where k is the number of experimental variable, and we have two variable, means experimental variable is 1 if number of observation is then k is equal to 1. If we compare the calculated value of d with the theoretical value of d with n minus k degree of freedom, the theoretical value of d is value of theoretical value of d is value of d is value which d would assume if null hypothesis were true, that is, there is no autocorrelation, null hypothesis accepted. The values upper bound notation due and lower bound dl have been assigned to two theoretical value of d, which can be as follows. Suppose that the null hypothesis is true. In that case, covariances between ei and ei minus 1 will be approximately is equal to 0, nearest to this one. When this is true, then we find that if n is large, d is close to 2 in bracket 1 minus rho estimated, where rho is the autocorrelation of first order, ui estimated estimated ui minus 1. In residual form, we can write ei minus 1 is equal to 0, accepted value of ei minus a equal to 0. Assumption: when this fired d is equal to sigma ei minus 1 whole square sigma ei whole square. Sigma ei whole square plus e square I minus 1 minus 2i ei minus 1 divided by sigma ei whole square. Approximately ei and ei minus 1 nearest to each other, their difference is equal to 0, equivalent to each other on squaring ei whole square plus ei whole square minus 2 ei minus 1 upon sigma ei whole square. D sigma I is equal to started from 2 n ei whole square plus sigma I is equal to 2n ei minus 1 whole square minus 2 sigma I up to 2n ei minus 1 divided by sigma I started from 1 up to n ei d is equal to sigma n I is equal to 2 ei whole square plus sigma n I minus 2 ei minus 1 whole square minus 2 sigma started from I2 up to n ei minus 1 upon sigma n I is equal to 1 ei whole square. it may be very large, then sigma ei is equal to 2 ei whole square equivalent to sigma I is equal to 2 n e whole square I minus 1 equivalent to sigma n I is equal to 1 ei whole square. Approximately d is equal to now equivalent to this one 2 ei whole square I minus 1 sigma ei whole square I minus 1, and it is also equivalent to 2 sigma ei minus 1 upon sigma e square I minus 1. D is approximately equal to 1 minus sigma ei minus 1 upon sigma ei whole square. If both are equivalent to each other, for large values we can write d approximately equal to 2 in bracket 1 upon minus rho of first order. If rho is equal to 0, d is equivalent to 2, means no autocorrelation. If rho is equal to 1, d is equal to 0. If rho is equal to 0, d approximately equal to 2 means autocorrelation arises. If rho is equal to 1, it is deduct and d is approximately equal to 0 means no correlation. If rho is equal to minus 1, d equivalent to 4. Sigma ei square sigma ei equal to rho autocorrelation of first order sigma ui minus 1 sigma. Rho is the first order autocorrelation. Thus we obtain two important conclusions. The value of d lies between 0 to 4, and if there is no autocorrelation, rho is equal to 0, then d is equal to 2. When where therefore the calculated value of turns out to be sufficiently close to 2, we accept null hypothesis, and if it is close to 0 or 4, we reject the null hypothesis. However, because the exact value of d is never known, there exists a range values within which we neither accept nor reject the null hypothesis, which is important. Specifically for two-tailed Darwin-Wassermann test, we have set 5 reasons for the values of d depicted in figure. 5 reasons. Suppose this is critical reason. Reject the null hypothesis means beyond the 0 and 4 critical reason, reject the hypothesis. ये DL lower bound up to upper bound. Uncertainty reason it shows autocorrelation, and no autocorrelation range between upper bound du u 4 minus d upper bound 4 minus d lower bound. This area shows except no autocorrelation, and this area lower bound and upper bound between uncertainty region show autocorrelation, and 4 minus upper bound uncertainty region 4 minus dl between no uncertainty region shows the autocorrelation. Critical region reject the hypothesis, critical region reject the hypothesis. In figure may be translated following words: if d is less than dl or greater than 4 minus dl, reject the null hypothesis in favor of alternative, which implies autocorrelation. If d lies between du and 4 minus du, accept the null hypothesis of no autocorrelation. D lies between upper bound and 4 minus du. This reason no autocorrelation. This dl du uncertainty region. Critical region reject the null hypothesis means autocorrelation. Critical region reject the hypothesis When autocorrelation, this is uncertainty region, this is uncertainty region. If D lies between DU and 4DU, accept the null hypothesis and no autocorrelation. If, however, the value of D lies between lower bound and DU or between 4 minus DU and 4 minus DL, the Darwin-Watson test is inclusive for these values. We cannot at a specified level of significance conclude either that we do or do not do autocorrelation among the disturbance term. The above test is widely used in the econometrics applications. A great advantage of this test being that it is based on the estimated residual. Because of the two disadvantage, it is a common practice to report Darwin-Watson D statistics along with other summary statistics such as R square bar and T ratio. Also, we can test the autocorrelation. Assumption line underlying and D statistics. It is assumed that the model include a constant term alpha that is intersect on the y-axis. In other words, regression equation include the intercept term. The model or regression does not passes through the origin. If, however, the line passes through the origin, it is necessary transform the equation, include an interpreter. Second, the disturbance terms ui are generated by the first order autoregressive scheme. Ui is equal to rho ui minus 1 plus epsilon, where e assumption e epsilon is equal to 0, e epsilon I epsilon j equal to common variance of epsilon if I equal to j and equal to 0 if I not equal to j, just like your disturbance term. The regression equation does not include lagged values, dependent variable as one of the experimentary variables. The test is not applicable in that situation. Darwin developed the so-called H statistics to test serial correlation in such autoregressive model. In using the Darwin-Watson test, it is therefore to do not that it cannot be applied violation of any above three assumption. Now we have completed the Darwin-Watson test, how you test autocorrelation are present or not. After that, next I will take the method of estimation autocorrelation. After testing, we have taken method of estimation under autocorrelation in my next class. Thank you.